60 years ago today, the world went conspiracy theorist. The world, everybody, we had it given to us. They showed us, look what these bastards can do. And you know what? This miserable mainstream media today, especially these mindless children on cable news, they still don't get it. We all changed that day, my friends. We changed. It was a different story. I don't know about you, and I heard somebody the other day, some punk say, well, that was before my time. Shut up, you. History's before your time. That's why they call it history. Do you know what that was? They whacked a president of the United States in front of everybody. In front of you, it was a hit. A hit. And those bastards, and if you have to take one name, one person, if you want to start with one guy, Allen Dulles, head of the CIA, we'll worry about that later. Because there's this new cottage industry, as you know, of a bunch of these people who just sit around all day long and they say, well, I know more about what's going on with you. Well, I know about this. Well, I know. Well, I'm an expert. No, I'm an expert. Here's my website. And they go into this minutia. It was a Mauser, not a Manica Carcano. Okay, fine. Most people don't get it. But listen to what I'm saying. Allen Dulles didn't even give a rat's ass whether somebody would have said, remember, during that time, most of the men that you see walking around were in World War II. These guys are battle-hardened. These are tough bastards. This is not the cream puff, powder puff, snowflake, implicit, spineless, ballless gelding that we have today. These were battle-hardened. And anybody could have been there, heard a gun, heard some rifle crack, because they all knew the sound of rifles shot in hostility. They could have grabbed one of the assassins, pinned him down, held him. They didn't care. 60 years later, they still don't know who did it. Lucien Sarti, interesting story, might have been Badge Man. Does it matter at this point? No. Now think about something. Here we are today. 60 years after this incredible moment that has changed my life. I was 5 years old then. I'll never forget my mother crying. I'm thinking, something's going on here. And they knew this was bullshit from the beginning, because don't forget, the Zapruder film didn't come till like in the 70s during a Geraldo Rivera, Good Night America, or whatever it was. That's when people saw it, from the days of Mark Lane. They knew it was it was nonsense. And let me tell you something right now. Nobody in power knew it was going to happen. LBJ was a psychopath. LBJ was a serial killer. The most corrupt president of all times is Joe Biden. Joe Biden's just corrupt. He's just a thug. He's just a gangster. Organized crime. Okay, you got that? Okay, fine. But understand, LBJ was a rat bastard, serial killer, dark, evil, psychopathic. He was a ghoul. A ghoul. Okay? He didn't know. He wasn't surprised. Do you think George Bush had any inkling, any understanding, any advance warning of 9/11? Or Cheney? Hell no. Absolutely not. Were they surprised? No. So don't go for the low-hanging fruit. But you've got to understand the way the world was then. This was post-World War II. We just kicked the shit out of the Nazis and Hitler and Japan. And Intel and Dulles and post-1947 Security Act, it was a different world. There was no China. There was no Palestine and Gaza and social media. We were it. We were top dog. And we were going to kick the shit out of the Russians, right? That's what we were doing. It was a Cold War. We had it. Oh, man, we were. And Dulles said, we can do whatever he wants. Coups are no big. Coups are us. Look at Operation Ajax in Iran and Mossadegh. Boom. Gave it the shot. Shut up and take your medicine. We're the United States. Screw you. We can do whatever we want. Arbenz and just go down the list. You know the story, okay? But that was this idea that, this Kennedy's getting in the way. And believe it or not, and listen to this, Bobby Kennedy, probably not the sole reason, but the greatest precipitator of all this was your father. Your father probably had more to do with this than anything. because he went after the wrong people. He went after the wrong people and he tempted them. From Frank Sinatra to Jimmy Hoffa to Carlos Marcello, the head of New Orleans. What do you think New Orleans was? The greatest coordination and concentration of Sicilians, maybe in the country. It was incredible. Who controlled Dallas? Marcello. Oh. See, but it was a different world then. When they offed Marilyn Monroe, when they offed Dorothy Kilgallen, it was a different world because there were no real investigative reporters. Nobody dared to say anything. They were kind of scared and, they were tactful. Oh, today they're completely worthless. It was better then because today there is no media. And think about this question, which I'm going to be asking on a regular basis. What if we had cameras? And what if everybody's standing there with their camera and going, hey, look at this. This is a mouse, but let's assume this is a camera. And I'm there at Dealey Plaza. I'm there at the grassy knoll. And I'm saying, hey, what's that noise? Hey, look at this. We have 10,000 shots of some guy with a rifle who's not Oswald. Can you believe that story? Can you believe that one? I'm a patsy. Shut up. Hey, it's Jack Ruby. I just wanted to keep Jackie from having to testify. What? Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But imagine then. It'd be the worst because you don't understand it. We're brain dead today. We don't care about anything. Somebody actually told me, I don't know if I told you this because I've been telling everybody. Somebody said to me, that was before my time. You stupid. Maybe I did tell you this. Everything's before your time. That's why they call it history. We still don't know the crime of the century in front of everybody. They said, we're going to do what we want. You got that? Any questions? We're in charge. And you can go back to individual examples of stuff that's shady. How about the fact that there was a bullet hole coming through the windshield in the front? How'd that happen? Weren't the shots from behind? Well, how'd a bullet come? 2 bullets, but one in particular. What did they do? They replaced the windshield. What? They even cleaned up a crime scene right away. I mean, look, you don't have to be Quincy to understand this. This was great. Great because of its horror. Great because of the level of complexity. Great because they don't give a damn about you. And they still don't. And that CIA, that was a CIA. And that mob and that organized crime, like nothing you've ever even imagined. So just remember, today, 60 years ago, the world went full-blown conspiracy theorist. What do you think, my friend? What do you think? Listen to me very carefully. I want to hear what you have to think. As you comment as you see fit.